I'm Holly with Stella Mari's Quilts, and today we continue our series on 50 blocks for 50 states, following along with the designs from this book. The information on that is in the description box below, so make sure you check that out, as well as the link for the pattern that has step-by-step instructions, diagrams, and any adaptations we may have made to make these blocks a little easier to make. So today's block is the one for New Hampshire, and for those of you who have been following along with the series, it may look very familiar to you, and that's because it is. It's the exact same layout and design as Florida. The difference is the color placement. So we'll go through New Hampshire, mostly focusing on the color placement. So if there's any questions you have about some of the construction or any tips, check out the video on Florida, because I have a lot more in that video about how to cut the angles and some tips about piecing them together. So with that said, let's go ahead and grab our cup of tea and get started.
For New Hampshire, you're going to need some 60-degree triangles. You'll need 3 each of your dark and your light. They finish measuring at 2.5 inches tall. And then you're going to need some 1.5 by 5 inch strips of your dark. 6 of them will have the 60-degree angle cut on at both ends. 3 of them will have the 60-degree triangle cut on one end. You're going to need a bunch of diamonds. These are 60-degree diamonds out of your medium. I believe there's 18 of them. Then you're going to need the same strips out of your light that you have out of your dark. There's 6 with the angles cut on the ends and 3 with the angles cut on one end. You're also going to need some setting squares, rectangles. These are 4 by 6 inches tall, and then you're going to need some setting strips that are 2 by 13 inches. So for the layout, you're going to wrap each of the center triangles with the strips and put the diamonds in the corners. You'll have 3 sets where the dark is in the center, and then 3 sets with the light in the center. The red diamonds will always be in the outer corners. Start by taking your 60-degree triangle and your 1.5 by 5 inch strip that has the angle cut on both ends. And we're going to lay your triangle on top of your strip, match up those notches, and sew a 1/4 inch seam. When we press it open, it will look like this. Next, we're going to take one of your diamonds and your strip that has the angle cut on only one end. We're going to sew the diamond to the strip. Lay your diamond over it, match up your notches, sew your 1/4 inch seam, and then open it up. You'll end up with a piece that looks like this. We're going to then add this to our triangle, lining up your point where the diamonds are. Sew down your 1/4 inch seam and open it up. Then we'll go ahead and trim off excess at the very end. Here's what that looks like. I'm going to take my ruler and just line it up straight against the bottom of the triangle. And I'm going to trim off any excess from the side strips. I'm also going to use my 60-degree ruler template to trim some notches to help with piecing this together down the road. Then I'm going to take my 1.5 by 5 inch strips with a 60-degree angle cut on both ends, and I'm going to add a diamond to each end. Same process, lay it down, line up the notches, and sew the 1/4 inch seam. It will end up looking like this. I would do a test and then lay it down and check to see that your strip set is the right size to fit. Depending on your seam allowance, it may need to be trimmed just a little bit. My 1/4 inch seam tends to be a little bit scant, so you can see that my strip ends up being a little bit too big and my points won't line up. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to trim a little bit of extra fabric off the end of my strip before I continue sewing on the diamonds. Based on just observing it, it looks like I need to trim about a 1/4 of an inch in from the angled side. To line up your points, you'll want to put your pin through the top at a 1/4 inch down, and then you can line it up with the 1/4 inch point of the back part. And then just go ahead and pin it. And this is where you can see that my strip is a little bit too long, because if I try to line that up, I'm going to have extra on the strip unit itself. And I don't want it to be gathered, so I'm going to go ahead and then trim all of these. I'll just measure in from the angle, trim off about a 1/4 inch, just because that's my seam allowance. You may not need to do the trimming, but it's just a good thing to check so that you have consistency in your piecing. So now I'm going to just pick out that diamond, trim it, sew all of my diamonds to my strips on both ends.
Now that we have our triangle units prepared, we have 3 with the dark center and the light border, and 3 with the light center and the dark border. We're going to go ahead and prepare some setting pieces. So I've got a stack here of 4 4x6 rectangles, and they're stacked so that the wrong sides are together. You could stack them right sides together or wrong sides together. Either way works, but there's a pair of 2 and then a pair of 2. And I'll use my 60-degree ruler to cut an angle. I'm just going to line up any line on my ruler with the bottom edge. And then I'm just going to go ahead and trim that. I'll even use the ruler to form a notch at the very tip here. And we're going to use these to set off the square. Put those aside for a moment while arranging the block. So I'm just going to go ahead and lay this out, with alternating between my light and my dark. Now, if you wanted to make a quilt with just the New Hampshire block, you would just make a bunch of these, and then you'd sew the whole quilt together in vertical rows going in just these sections here. But since we want to put this into a block for the whole series, I'm going to set them off with these corner pieces. We'll just stick that there and stick, that's the wrong side. By pairing these together before cutting so that they were either the right sides together or the wrong sides together, I will end up with one in each pair that is cut on the right and then one of each pair cut on the left. So then my row here I'm going to sew together is right here, and I will just fold this over, line up my edge here, stitch my 1/4 inch seam, open it up, then add the next one by folding it over and stitching. Now that I have each of my sides sewn together, I'm going to go ahead and just put these together and sew down the center. You want to make sure that as you're sewing these that you're watching your seams to make sure that they line up. If you've pressed to the side, they should be able to nest. I pressed mine open because I know that there's going to be a lot of bulk here at the center, and that's going to make it lay a little flatter when it's all done and pressed. And now we're going to just go ahead and finish setting this off so that it's a square. Right now it's a rectangle, and we're going to just add 2-inch strips to the sides, and then we'll square the whole thing up to 12.5 inches. And here's our finished New Hampshire block. Thank you for joining me today working on the New Hampshire block. Just as a reminder, this block is very much like the Florida block. See, this is the Florida block right here. The main difference is the color placement as well as orientation. So Florida, the rows go across horizontally, and for New Hampshire, the rows go vertically. Couple tips, there are some bias edges on this. Anytime you're working with triangles or diamonds, you're going to have bias edges. So if you're not comfortable with the bias and you have a tendency to maybe stretch that a little bit of starch and pressing will help the fabric to not stretch while you're working with it. It's a great way to work with bias, especially if you're kind of new to working with it. I hope you continue to join us along our series and journey through all 50 states. Until next time, cheers and happy quilting.